Now, there's a very well-known saying in Western civilization, and it goes, Rome was not built in a day, which is true. Of course, it goes beyond just the literal of Rome, as in the city, but to all aspects of our lives, which is why it is used quite commonly when people are speaking on any number of issues. Basically, anything that is worth achieving and worth remembering, worth thinking back of, and worth striving for, especially, is not done in one day. It's a system. You have steps A, B, C, D, E, etc. to Z, and maybe beyond that before you get to where you want to go. There's a long process of zigzagging, weaving, bobbing and weaving to get to where you want to go. It's going to be filled with a bunch of pitfalls and mistakes, just as one cannot say that Rome was built perfectly. There were plenty of mistakes made along the way to the building of ancient Rome, that very famous and looked up upon city. But it was something that is worthy still of our memory, which is why thousands of years later, today, this day, people still remember Rome, ancient Rome, the Roman Empire, and how the city of Rome was at the heart of it all, how most of the known world in the Afro-Eurasian continent, if you will, they knew about Rome, and that Rome was, well, all roads led to Rome for that reason, because something so great was built, which we can apply to many a number of things, which is why people still use the saying of Rome was not built in a day. To expand on that, say you want to be a skilled athlete, or you want to be at the top of your profession. Well, again, you're not going to achieve it in a day, just like Rome was not achieved in a day. Rome as how we perceive ancient Rome, that is. You want to get to the top of some profession or become the best athlete at whatever sport you're playing. Well, it's going to take a whole lot of work. It's a staircase going up, and it's a whole lot of sweat equity that you got to put in before you can get to where you want to go. It's no easy path, because of course, if there was an easy path, well, anyone can achieve it. Anyone can achieve something that's easy, but something that is difficult, where few people achieve it, the scarcity of it being achieved, that is what makes something valuable. That is what makes something that is worth remembering and looking forward to. Anyone can anyone can watch TV. Who can be on that TV as being interviewed as a Fortune 500 CEO of a very large multi-billion-dollar company. That's a whole lot fewer. The latter's a whole lot fewer. That's something that is worth trying to achieve. And of course, most of us, we are only going to be passive observers of people that achieve great things. Even if we ourselves achieve something great, we are likely going to achieve one or just a few great things that we're known for. And everything else that is worth being known for, we're going to only be able to observe it on the outside, just as we only see something on TV. We don't see all the hard work, all the blood, sweat, and tears that this other person that we're observing has put into getting to where they are today. We don't see all the toils, all the sleepless nights, all the all-nighters and whatnot that they pulled in order to get to where they are. We don't see the process. We only see the end result, which is why oftentimes people get blinded and frustrated on why they're not able to get to where they want to go. And quite honestly, most people, they are unwilling to make the sacrifices needed to get to this certain aim that they have, because It's been said that life is a series of choices. Well, if you make one choice, all the other choices that could have potentially been made, you are sacrificing them. You're choosing not to pursue them. Those are, for lack of a better word, sacrifices. You choose one path, the other paths are forsaken. That said, we need, again, as we have previously discussed in previous videos, life is a series of questions that need to be answered. And how we answer them is going to determine our fate. Where we are right now is a determinant of all the past decisions that we made. A large conglomerate of them brought us to this present day. And this present day, where we can make more decisions, they're going to alter our path on where we're going to get to on a later date. Now, most people, even if they do recognize this, I recognize that they're going to have to make a lot of sacrifices, as we have just discussed, to get to this goal that they want. Most people are unwilling to put in the work. To further make this a bit more concrete, let's use a very well-known example. Now, most people, they're unwilling to work for, say, years, maybe even decades, to get to where they want, with no expected return, as in there's no guarantee that they're going to get to where they're going to go to. A lot of it is up to chance, up to probabilities, however you want to look at it. Which is why most people, here's the example, they want the steady bi-weekly paycheck, where they know that if they do X, what they've been hired for, they put in this input, their labor, the output they're going to get is going to be this dollar amount that they're going to receive. That's very predictable, that you can establish a routine around, establish your habits around, establish your lifestyle around, establish your life around. Most people prefer that rather than working, and not seeing any results. Working some more, nada. Working, nothing. Most people don't desire that lifestyle, which is why most people prefer to be an employee rather than taking a risk to start their own business. They want the predictability. Most people want the comfort of that security, as security is something that has always been a part of a basic need in our human psyche, and it takes a certain personality to be willing to at least temporarily suspend that predictability, that security, in order to pursue something that can be potentially bigger and better than what anyone else that is taking the predictable route can achieve. Few people are willing to do that. To build on this example, a more extreme way you can look at it is, right now I'm here in Africa, Sierra Leone specifically. I notice another example, Uber rides, rideshare. Of course, you're going to be paying your driver for the service they're providing to you. Most of these drivers I found here in Africa, they're unwilling to take a credit card. They don't want the card. They don't want this card. They don't want this. Instead, they prefer this, cash. Because, well, this stuff, they get paid through this. It's a weekly payout. They get paid at the end of the week. So they don't have cash on hand, which they can use right now. They have to wait. They want the instant satisfaction of getting what they've earned, rather than waiting to a later date. Because honestly, most of these guys, they live hand in mouth, which I'm not judging them for. It's the life they live. It's not the life I live, but it's the life they live, which is, to each their own. How that connects to the previous example of it's all the predictability. They want the predictability of, I'm going to give you a ride right now, and I'm going to get my reward right when it's finished, not waiting till a later date, to the end of the week. I'm going to get it right now. And these two examples, they bring up a very important point, a concept of, I'm sure most of us at least heard of it before, of delayed gratification, there's been so many studies done on it. But it's necessary to achieve not just the goal that we've set for us tomorrow, but a month, a year, a decade from now. Those goals where we're going to have to make sacrifices in order to get to where we want to go. And oftentimes these sacrifices could mean, for the sake of example, not seeing this stuff for quite some time in order to potentially get a whole lot more of it later on down the line. Of course, it doesn't just have to be any business or monetary, financial gain rather. It could be in any number of goals that you have, but most simple would be in terms of career and business. The entrepreneur, for example, the person that works so many long hours, longer than any 9-to-5 employee, yet they see nothing at the end for months, maybe even years, before they start seeing the payoff. And the way these people are able to go about this, at least part of it, is they have this confidence in themselves that they have a set plan on knowing where they're going to go and how they're going to achieve that goal. And they're also patient enough to continue working with that knowledge that what it is that they want in the future, they're going to achieve it. Even though it may suck now, they're willing to soldier it out, be patient, and just grind through it for the payout in the future. This is the type of, it's a persistent patience, if you will, a persistent patience of knowing that if I work very hard now, I just need to know that in the back of my mind, I know that eventually I'm going to get to where I'm going to go, where I want to go, and what I want to achieve.